Welcome back, guys. So recently I introduced you to the Jeep project there, the 57 Willys CJ5. I still haven't bought seats for it yet or bought the material to make the seat frames. That was always top priority. It hurts sitting on that gas tank trying to drive it. But something came up on an online classified ad that I just had to have. Let me spin around and show you. So I picked up this bumper off a online classified ad. This was about what the picture showed online. And what I could barely see was the top of this winch right here. I thought it was an old worn 8274. In fact, I think it's a little bit older. See that 5687 up there? From my research, I think this is a real old, not super old, but like a 70s Bellview winch. She does turn over, let me show you. You can spin the brake drum over here on the side a little bit. It's not frozen. And you can see the drum turning there. It's missing the motor, obviously. They do reproduce those. This is not the right spot. This is for the cable that actuates the brake. You can see a little band brake right there. These were only winch in, and if you needed to feed out, you modulated. There was a cable that you would put under the dash or on the dash that you would modulate this brake to feed out line, okay? This little arm here is broken. This is I think the free spool, but it's broken off right there, so I need to find a new one of those. As I understand it, Warren does not produce parts for this, but there's enough of them out there that you can find used parts. And the motors, Warren doesn't produce the motors, but there are new motors that you can buy. In fact, there's motors that you can buy that are power in and power out. They're reversible. Okay, so like I said, the original was only a power in. These old auxiliary lights here, they're kind of neat. They got the right look to them, the right age. They're not gonna go on the Jeep. They're just way too big for that front end. But I think I'm gonna put them on the 1-ton around the corner there. I think they'll look good on that bumper. But the rest of this, the bumper, I don't need it. Once I get all the lights and the winch off, the bumper's just gonna go to the garbage. 5 out of 6 of these bolts, they actually welded to the bumper. Those two there. This one, as far as I can tell, is the only one that is not welded. Got a big weld there and a big weld there. That's gonna make it a real pain in the butt to get off. So what I think I'm gonna do, this one I'll try and just thread it out normally. I think with these, I'm gonna cut the heads off. This plate here is a 1/2 inch thick, so if I cut the heads of the bolts off there, I'll still have a 1/2 inch of thread or bolt sticking out from the winch, which should give me enough meat to extract the bolts from the winch itself. This is gonna be kind of tricky. Hopefully I get them all out and I don't have to take this to the machine shop. But let's get started. Well, that's it, guys. This worked out a lot better than I was thinking it would. We got 5 of the 6 bolts out without having to use any sort of extraction techniques. Basically, I just cut the weld that was on the bumper, as you saw, and then ran them out with a ratchet. One bolt down here, I had to cut it off, cut the head of the bolt off, almost solely because of where it was behind that fair lead. Had I been able to get a grinder in there and do a similar procedure that I had done on the other 5 bolts, I would have been able to take that out and just kind of thread it out normally. But we just put a nut on there, welded it, and it came out pretty easily. So I'm happy with this thing. We got a whole mess of old wire cable off of there. That's gonna go to the curb. I don't need it, especially on the front of the Jeep. I'd like to make this as light as possible. When I get around to the finished work on rebuilding this winch, I'm gonna order up some of that synthetic winch rope instead of the wire. Easier on your hands, and it's going to save a little bit of weight there on the front of the Jeep. I'm glad my friend Thomas was here. That bumper was real heavy, so that'll be another chore getting it to the street. But anyway, that's it. Next job, get this old bumper here off the Jeep. I've got another one there in the garage that the previous owner gave to me, and we'll fabricate a mount for the winch, get that bolted up, and that's it. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.